go-to place for tea and chats. I'm your host Emma, and I'm joined again today by one...
Jack Ewins.
Jack?
Your husband.
My husband. I gave you no warning that you had to say your own name there. I just gave you a look of like, speak now. Now is your time. Dearie me. Hello everyone. I've been gone for a couple of weeks. I think I missed like one podcast that I would normally put out, and that is because I have been a busy lady.
Yeah, you've been all over the place.
All over the shop. Most recently, I've been to Bristol to see my friend Charlie and to rehearse because we played a music festival last weekend, Bromsgrove Folk Festival, which was lovely. And where else have I been? It feels like lots. We were at another wedding.
I went to a wedding.
You went to a wedding. I did a sleepover where I work with loads of children.
Yeah, and you went away for the folk festival, and then where else did you go? You went somewhere else, didn't you? Work. Yeah. We've just had work.
Yeah, and I went to, so on the work note, so I went to the Norfolk show, which is I guess it sort of started as a chance for farmers to get together. That's the impression that I got. They would bring livestock and things that are useful for farming and share their knowledge, I think, and have awards and sort of competitions and things like that.
Is it like fattest sheep and
I guess so.
Biggest cucumber?
Yeah, I can only assume. But it's sort of escalated and grown over the years, and now it's not just the farming. There's local businesses and stuff that would go there. So I went with my work and had a stall there, which was really fun. And then I also got to do a bit of exploring. So I had my lunch break and I took myself off to the Adnams Food Hall, which is always a great idea because you will get free samples. Anywhere where there's a food hall.
And those who know you, Emma,
yes,
they know you love a food sample.
Oh, I love a food sample. I love the cheese samples. I bought a fresh lemonade and that was really tasty.
I love fresh lemonade.
Oh, so nice. And the lemon lady, the lady told me that the trick is a fresh lemon. That's what makes it really, really good. If you have like slightly old lemons, it won't be as good.
Yeah.
So I've got it. It was one of those moments where I thought, I'm gonna learn how to make lemonade. I haven't yet, but maybe one day. Anyway, as is now the case, having started this podcast, I'm always on the hunt for new tea, and I found a stall called Nelson and Norfolk, and I hadn't seen them before. I thought I sort of clocked the majority of the tea-based shops around here, but Nelson and Norfolk, that's another one.
So this is from the Norfolk show.
From the Norfolk show, yeah.
Oh.
So I went up to the stall, very nice chap behind there, and he was telling me, he sort of recommended quite a strong tea to me, and it was making me think about of which we've enjoyed quite a lot, the Kenya Capco tea that we reviewed a while ago. Gosh, that's nice. And if it's like a Sunday morning, it's like, I don't know, 10 or something like that. I might put a pot of that on now. We're going to run out soon, actually. We've used quite a lot of it.
Really strong, though.
It's so strong.
That's the thing.
It's like if you want a coffee, but you don't want coffee and you want a tea, that's what I'd recommend for that. So he was recommending something similar. And I was like, no. Have you got something a bit quirky? Was what I put out there. And he then recommended to me this tea, which is Little Snoring sleep tea. Which so
if this podcast runs on for 3 hours and half of it is just silence, we've fallen asleep.
We've fallen asleep from the tea. Yeah, which is great. I love a sleepy time tea.
Yeah,
I do. I'm doing it like
before bed.
Before bed, I love chamomile. Chamomile is great. I'll do a chamomile review soon. Chamomile tea is lovely, but you get different blends of sleepy tea now, which have some valerian root in. We also have a couple of valerian root.
What's valerian root?
So valerian root is a herbal tea, ingredient in a herbal tea, and it will just make you go to sleep.
But is it a valerian, that's a plant?
I think so.
I'm the naive one.
Yeah, I think it's from a root. I'm chucking that out there.
Okay.
I'm chucking out there. I think it's from a root. And yeah, it's got properties in it that make, and it's like there's warnings on the box that say don't drink this and also have alcohol, and don't drink this if you've got to be alert or something. So it genuinely has the effects it says. And I feel pretty sleepy when I drink it. So some of the sleepy teas has valerian in it.
Has this got valerian in it?
No, it does not.
Let me have a look. Can I have a look at this?
Have a little look.
Have a look at the packet.
Yeah, so it doesn't. So I was quite keen to have a sleepy tea. So as I said, I've been pretty busy recently, sort of travelling around, doing all sorts of things. I took myself off to Bristol on Wednesday and then didn't get back till Monday, quite late on Monday, having then finished the festival in Bromsgrove. So,
How long was the drive before you got home?
Oh God, we left at like 11 and we got back about 7.
Okay,
It's a long old, and quite a lot of evenings recently. I've been sat there going, "Oh, I'd really actually quite enjoy a sleepy tea. I'd enjoy that one I got from the Norfolk show." But I've been strong in my resolve, and that I would not try it until we recorded this episode.
Oh, so you haven't?
I haven't tried it. No.
Okay, cool. So this is both of us going in blind.
I was really tempted. Do you want to read the ingredients?
I do. I was reading this. The beautiful Norfolk villages of Great and Little Snoring. Okay, they're real places?
Real places, which we need to discuss in a minute because I find that hilarious.
Are the inspiration for our sleep time blend. A relaxing and soothing herbal blend of chamomile, rose petals, and lavender. I love a bit of lavender. It is sure to ease insomnia and promote a restful night's sleep. Naturally, caffeine-free.
I mean, I'd be concerned if it wasn't.
It's called Little Snoring Sleepy Tea. It's just full of caffeine.
So,
So Little Snoring, Great and Little Snoring. Is that the full
name? There's 2 different places. There's Great Snoring and Little Snoring.
This is where we live.
That's Norfolk. When I first met Jack, he told me he was from a town called Beccles, which I thought in itself was reasonably funny. And I found it more funny when he said that the town next door is called Bungay, which sounds like it should be in a children's TV show.
Bungay.
Bungay? Yeah. Anyway, Little Snoring. I'd love to live in Little Snoring and then make loads of terrible snoring jokes.
I bet everyone does.
Yeah, you'd have to. So should we try this tea? It is currently brewing in my Whittard of Chelsea teapot that has a candle under it so it can stay nice and warm throughout. It was quite fun to get.
Let me just note for the listeners, it is a amber colour.
Yeah.
And it looks quite quite clear.
Let's see, I have once again, listeners, overfilled the teapot, but oh no, Whittard of Chelsea is coping well with the amount of liquid I've got in there. There we go. This is not gonna lie, this isn't the biggest of teapots, so we might have to.
I was gonna say we've got
huge
mugs.
A water top up, but there we go. I'll leave some more on there. Gosh, it's such a nice teapot because it's got the tea candle underneath. And it's a see-through teapot. It just feels really
completely glass,
atmospheric.
Yeah.
Yeah, completely glass. And we've got a couple of candles. I'm going for the sleepiness.
You are making me feel very tired.
It's all candlelit and sleepy and.
That sounded meaner than I wanted.
You're making me tired.
You're making.
Okay, smelling the tea. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, that really smells like chamomile to me.
That's what it smells like to me. I can't smell the lavender.
No. And rose especially is quite a strong taste, I find.
Maybe it's all in the taste.
Yeah.
I'm going to leave it for a second because it is
steaming away there, isn't it?
Now.
Yeah. I've got something in my tea. No, it's a bubble. Yeah. So I'm quite excited to drink this. I wonder if it will indeed make us sleepy. But yeah, I'm pretty tired, I'm not going to lie. So we got back on Monday. Well, I got back on Monday and then I've been in work ever since and I'm building up to quite a large event at work. So I'm a little bit tired.
You're always on the go.
Go.
And you just got back from the Bromsgrove Folk Festival, and then you've dived straight back into work. Yeah. It's not like you went on holiday. It's like you went and you had to do stuff.
Yeah.
And all.
Oh, it was brilliant though. If anyone from Bromsgrove is listening, Bob, who runs it, always keeps mentioning Pod of Tea. I think he's intrigued as to what a podcast is. So Bob, if you're listening, hello to you.
You should host one next year.
Yeah, I'll take if I get. I'm looking at getting a recorder, microphone recording thing that I could take on the go, which would be amazing. So then I'd be able to go out of my flat and record some podcasts.
I think you'd be able to knock out quite a few episodes in that regard.
Yeah, it would be really, really handy. So if I got that, I would certainly take it to places like Bromsgrove and get some. I was sat in so Jack's dad is a musician and he also played the folk festival, and I was sat in they made a lounge off their camper van, and we were sat in there and saying how that would have been a brilliant moment to have a pod of tea, because then we would have had a discussion about tea when you're camping, and tea when you're camping is the holy grail of beverages. It's so nice. Especially if you're someone like me who does not own a camping stove. If someone turns around and goes, would you like a cup of tea? It's like, you've just offered me the world in a mug. And I will always say yes.
I know what you mean.
And be your best friend.
I think you and I, in terms of our camping equipment, we're a little bit ill-prepared.
Ill-prepared, yes.
We have a tent. That's about it.
We do have a tent. We did used to have an airbed, and that deflated. Because it's got a puncture. I realised you can't load them up
we don't
again.
have one of those little like gas stove things.
No.
We have camping chairs though now.
We do have camping chairs, which is sort of showing our age now because we've hit the point where we're just like, love a camping chair. Like, we went to our friend's birthday, Charlie Lim. He was on the podcast before. She had her 30th birthday in a field, and we sat in these chairs, and they've got little cup holders for the drinks, and it was just so convenient.
For listeners, it wasn't just a field. There was like a festival.
It was a field party.
It was a field party, but there was like, she had a stage erected and all.
Oh yeah. Oh, she went to town on it. Sorry, yeah.
It was like a mini festival.
Yeah, it was like
for her 30th.
Limstock.
Yeah, that's what we kept calling it.
But yeah, it was really, really great.
When you say it, for people who wouldn't know, like...
Who weren't there and can't see the beautiful image that's in my brain.
She had her 30th in a
field.
Just sounds like she just stood in a field.
We all just sat around in a field. Everyone else was just sat in the field, and me and Jack were sat there in our camping chairs, lording over everyone like mules.
We came prepared.
We came prepared with our chairs. Yeah, so we've got a few bits and pieces. I always do this thing where if I go to a festival or something like that, and I see everyone else in their convenient camper vans or caravans, I'm like, oh, maybe we should get one. I get really excited about the idea for like a whole hour.
Yet,
but no, I know. But we can get like a cool one. Is there such a thing?
Maybe. When we're 65, we'll think they're cool.
Then we'll think they're cool.
I must insist that we try this tea, because I think it's literally cooled down a little bit now, enough for us to try it.
So ready? Okay.
Okay, here we go. Yeah, it tastes like a chamomile at the start, but then there is this like other. I'm going to use the word texture.
Yeah.
I think that's the petals. I'd say that's the rose
What
petals.
are you? Are there bits in your tea?
No, it says on the thing. There's a blend of.
Oh, sorry, no, because you said texture. I thought maybe.
Oh no, I meant like in taste, if that makes sense. The texture and taste.
That's really nice. I like it.
Yeah, that is really.
Jack's off to Little Snoring, everyone.
Great snoring.
Off he goes. Great snore, the big snore. That is very... I've got to be honest, I thought the lavender and rose would be stronger. And I don't know whether maybe the lavender and rose have made their way to the bottom of the bag. And I've just tipped in an awful lot of chamomile and the ratio's gone.
Would you want to shake the bag up? And then...
Let me have a look. I'm going to open the bag. This, by the way, as well, actually, as bags go for loose leaf tea, this is a great bag because it's got the little foldy thing to close the bag up. Built in into the bag. I mean... Okay, shake.
Can I have a look at the leaf?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Sorry.
no, the rose petals are in there. And the lavender. It's just the chamomile is like...
It smells lovely. Sorry, I know we're talking about a lot of visual stuff on this podcast. But what I'm holding in my hand looks like a load of little ground herbs, and then there's like little bits of red, like dried rose leaves and lavender in there.
It does smell good, but I think just the... That's not... Yeah. Jack went to put it back in the bag. We could put it in the teapot. Oh no, or on the table. Looks quite pretty there.
You could use that as potpourri.
Yeah, I think the chamomile is like, you wouldn't ever normally think of chamomile as being a strong flavour, but it's overwhelming the other tea.
Yeah, this is very strong in the chamomile department.
But as I had previously stated, I am a fan of chamomile. So I'd say this is like a chamomile with rose and lavender.
Cool. What would you rate this out of 10?
Out of 10?
I don't think you've done ratings yet.
I don't think so.
No, but I'm going to introduce this now. Even though it's not my podcast.
I would give this 7 teapots and a teacup.
Wait, what's the out of what?
9.
What does the teacup represent? You've instantly made this complicated. This is like
teacups are half.
Okay, teacups are half, so 7.5.
Yeah.
Out of 10.
Yeah, I got them. I said 9 just to be facetious, but we'll go with 10. Yeah, but
okay.
My only reason I'm saying that is because the lavender and rose isn't coming through as much as I thought.
No, unless there's like, you know, like you said, there's like maybe a wad of rose petals or something at the bottom that you could like brew a tea with. I wonder what tea would taste like with just rose petals. That would be interesting.
Just rose petal, that would be oof.
Do they do just lavender tea?
I don't know. That would be quite... See, this is the thing.
That's up my alley.
Rose and lavender I've always thought of as being quite strong flavours. So I feel like if I really think about it, I can taste them.
Is that where the points got knocked off for you?
It's there. It is kind of there. I think the ratio might be off.
I really like the taste of this.
I'm really thoroughly enjoying it, and I'm glad we are recording this episode, so now I can drink this.
Oh god, I just laughed
it's
and
just
the
been
herbs went all over the table.
I've been wanting to try this tea for ages. It's just been sat in the cupboard. The cupboard's now hit the point where we need to have a sort.
It is overflowing with tea. I was suggesting that we get all the tea out of the cupboard, we take a pinch of everything, we brew it all together in one mega tea broth of goodness knows what, and then have a sip.
And I said that was a heathen thing to do, and I'll have none of it. I'll have no part in such things.
They are mainly your teas.
Everything would just taste like licorice because of that licorice tea.
Yeah, that would
it would just be a mishmash with licorice.
I would rate this.
Yes, what would you rate? How many teapots? And you can use a teacup if you can't.
I've got a round number.
Oh.
So Little Snoring Sleep Tea. I'd actually rate this a good solid 8 out of 10.
An 8 out of 10. Yeah. You're scoring high, Little Snoring.
I think, we had chamomile tea last night before bed.
We did.
Because I
don't this one out of
I don't like drinking the decaf English breakfast thing that I drink before bed, mainly because it tastes like it should be a morning or a daytime
Yeah,
tea.
psychologically as well, you're probably expecting a caffeine hit, so your body will wake up a little bit.
Yeah, so when you were like, oh, I want to open the chamomile and have one of those, I was like, oh, I'll have one of those as well. I massively prefer the taste of this in terms of chamomile.
100%. Yeah. Well, this is this is like...
This is an actual tea.
Well, this is like proper chamomile buds in here, and it's, this is posh, for want of a better word. Whereas what we were drinking last night...
Standard box.
Yeah, it's, 70p from Aldi. Let's not paint a picture that isn't true here. That was an Aldi special.
Nice.
And don't get me wrong, they do the job. They're very, very nice. But this Little Snoring Sleep Tea is a cut above that.
This is an artisan tea.
An artisan tea, yes.
Okay.
And I'm so glad I have the excuse to buy such things now.
Because you always had the excuse to buy
I did always have the excuse, but I'm one of those people that I quibble over a price that in a different setting I would not quibble. I think I've talked about this possibly before on the podcast, but I will walk into a coffee shop and see a coffee that singular latte is going to cost me nigh on £3, and I hand over my money, and then I walk into a supermarket and see a tea that's going to cost £3, and there's like 12 tea bags in there, and I'm like, ooh, it's a bit pricey.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
That was a bit much. Whereas now, so because of the podcast, I'm looking at this, I can't remember how much this was. I want to say in the region of £4 for this bag.
But it's loose leaf, so you can get a lot of tea out of it, really.
Exactly. I think
it's also an artisan tea.
Exactly. And I think I put a little bit too much in this teapot, actually. But that does also mean we can add some more water in a bit and continue to drink it. But
I want another cup of this.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know where it's going now. But yeah. I think it's very nice. It says, use freshly drawn boiling water. All tea packets that I look at ask for freshly drawn water. And
what else are you going to do with it?
Well, just use the water that's already in the kettle.
Oh, I see what they're saying.
And that's what I tend to do. But I did use freshly drawn for this one and infused for 5 minutes. But I think with this kind of tea, the nice thing as well is that you can leave that brewing, and the flavours will get stronger, but I don't think it's going to ruin the tea. Do you mind if I
top up?
Please do.
The reason I want to see if it, because it looks darker, I want to see if it's like changed in taste since.
Oh, okay, that's a good idea.
Did you want to have a top up?
Yes, please. Yeah, I'll join you in this experiment.
I want to see if
Lovely.
Something's changed in the neighbourhood.
Who are you going to call? Nelson and Norfolk.
That was terrible.
Yep.
I was going to say great snoring, but...
Great snoring. Move over, Little Snoring. Okay, now I think the lavender and rose is coming through more.
It might be a little bit too hot for me. I just burnt my tongue. A little bit.
Oh dear. I think that's coming through more now. I think maybe...
Could definitely smell something different.
Lovely. Oh, I love a sleepy tea. I love getting cosy and ready for... Because I'm just perpetually a little bit tired right now. So just the idea of drinking this and then getting into bed, probably with some more of this.
Yeah.
Reading my book for a little bit and going to sleep.
Going off to the land.
Join us, everyone. If you're listening to this late at night, go make yourself a little chamomile if you've got one. Or something decaf. And then get all cozy in your pyjamas.
Nice warm milk and a cookie.
Nice warm milk and a cookie.
But we are in a like dimly lit room with a candle and lamp, you know.
There's a lamp.
Well,
fairy lights.
That's what I'm calling the fairy lights.
Got fairy lights everywhere.
Sort of lamp lit room while drinking this. I'm feeling tired a little bit.
Yeah, and I have, again, as I mention almost every episode, been drinking so much caffeine recently. Oh, the coffee. It's at least one a day. Normally
terrible
more.
For me. I drink one thing with caffeine now. Like I had an Earl Grey earlier today.
Yeah.
That one we drank a minute ago.
Send you a bit doolally?
It did a little bit before, like, we had dinner. I was sitting there thinking, like, I got, like, the jitters.
Yeah.
But there's that other one the other night. I drank one with just before coming to the shop. And then I instantly got, like, a headache from it. So I don't know what's going on, but caffeine is really
Caffeine's not Jack's friend.
No, but a coffee in the morning, I can, like, I usually make a coffee in the morning with a bit of honey.
Yeah.
And sometimes milk. I usually like it black, though. But that, like, I get perked up. I don't really feel ill or anything from it. It's the only one I can sort of stand. But Earl Grey, as sad as I have to say this, it's like, it's not sitting as well as it used to. So
I'll
maybe
get you some decaf.
Decaf Earl Grey, that's the way forward.
And I'll
for me.
keep the normal Earl Grey for me. Oh, Earl Grey, I love you so.
I know, it's the best.
Oh, it's so nice.
What do you prefer, though? What's your number one? Is that English breakfast?
Earl Grey.
Earl Grey's number one tea?
Oh yeah,
really?
like if someone put two types of tea, and I don't know when it changed because it used to be an English breakfast, but if someone put two types of tea in front of me and it was any other tea, and I'd go for Earl Grey.
Okay, same here. But
it just feels like a treat.
But I feel like I'm backstabbing the English breakfast because it's such a classic
it's just such
British
a go-to,
tea.
and probably if all I could drink was Earl Grey, then maybe I'd miss English breakfast quite quickly. Who knows? But yeah, I'm going to need this tea to sleep tonight because I have been bitten.
Yes, the bugs have come after me today.
Yeah, and I do not fare well when a bug bites me. I tend to react considerably. I took an antihistamine really quickly, so it should be okay. But this is the word. I love summer, but at the same time, it's not.
Bugs.
Yeah, I cope better in winter in general. I think it's like right now. It's quite warm out there. And we've got these hot... It's because everything I want to do is more geared up for winter. I want to get cosy and I want to have hot beverages.
Yeah.
And just hunker down.
What's worse, being hot and stuffy in bed at night or being cold in bed? So, like...
I find it easier to warm myself up, so hot and stuffy. I find it impossible to cool myself down. But if I was really cold, I'd find a way of making myself warm.
Oh,
Just put more layers on. Do you know what I mean? I'd go out and get more, pile the blankets on, and then feel incredibly pleased with myself that I was under a mountain of blankets.
Okay, yeah.
Whereas, like, if I'm hot, you just like eventually there's nothing else you can do.
But
you're just hot.
But here's the pros and cons of the opposite. Yeah. The problem is the morning time. This is the opposite. So in summertime, it's really hard to go to sleep when it's hot and stuffy, and you can't get cool, right? And in winter time, when you're trying to go to sleep, you can get really warm and snug, and you'll just go straight to sleep. It's the morning that undoes the whole thing, because the summertime, you just get out of bed. You're like, oh, get me out of that sweaty bed, and you're up. Wintertime, you know it's so cold outside the sheets that you don't want to leave, so you've got this like perpetual thing, unless you live in like a really nice house that's lovely and warm or whatever. But our old flat,
oh my god,
like
the
it
pod.
was really cold in there. This place we called the Pod, which was like a studio flat. But the point is,
me and Jack lived for 2 years in a studio flat which had one room. Well, it had two rooms if you count the bathroom. The bathroom went off into a separate room, obviously. But one room that had a bed and the kitchen stuff and a wardrobe and this little table that Jack would work off and that we would then like lift over the bed and put into the middle of the room, and one of us would sit on a chair and the other one would sit on the edge of a bed so we could have a dinner if we were being civilised. Otherwise it'd be a picnic on the floor. And we lived in there for 2 years, and we had to really downsize to get in there. And then when we moved out after 2 years, I realised that Jack kept not one, but 2 suitcases of DVDs under the bed the entire time. It
come from my previous flat.
And I had no idea. It was really funny. I like ferreted books away at like so many different relations' houses. And it was 1, 2 suitcases. And we left some DVDs at your mum's.
When we were waking up in the morning in this flat, because it was so cold in winter time, like you could literally see your breath some mornings, that we just would not want to get out of bed at all.
No, it was so cold.
That's the con of getting up in the morning is where the sides switch. You kind of want the balance. You want to have the going to bed during wintertime when you're all snug and warm and you know everything's really cold outside the bed. But you want the morning to be like the summertime where you just like you're get out of bed, like you just get up and you're like because it's nice and warm outside the bed.
Oh, definitely.
So
I've got my head's just full of pod memories now.
Maybe I don't know how long.
We're good. I think the little heater, and then like we couldn't turn our little heater up to 3 because it would short it out, so we could only get it up to 2. So the temptation was always there that the flat could be a little bit warmer for like 5 minutes, but then we wouldn't have any heating while it cooled down again.
And the humidifier.
And the day, so we went to Bulgaria, and before we went, because there was also a damp problem, of course, in this flat. So we decided we had a bit of paper over the vent, and we thought, we'll take that bit of paper off while we're away, and then the flat can sort of air itself out. And this was in February. And then we got back, and it was so, I swear, like our breath was turning to ice.
It was hideously cold.
It was so cold. But even then, I'm like, well, we could make ourselves warm. We had an electric blanket. So.
Yeah, we still have that electric blanket.
We do.
It's suffice to say, we live in much nicer conditions now, much bigger conditions.
This is why we moved to Norfolk, ladies and gentlemen, because you can't stay... In London, in a box. In a box forever. You eventually grow up. We had so much fun in that flat. Don't get me wrong. It was amazing.
What I tell everyone is it was a true test of our early relationship. Yeah. Because you are stuck inside a box together. You can't go anywhere. So you got to have fun at least and have a laugh with it. Yeah. Because if not, it could drive... I reckon that flat would have drove some people mad.
Yeah. Because where are you going to storm off to? The toilet? And the toilet, it was so small you could not to be crude, but you could sit on the bathroom, on the toilet, and your feet would be in the shower. So it's not like...
But I did love that
storm
flat.
About in there. Oh, me too. It was brilliant.
Fond memories.
Such fond memories. Yeah, it was great. And then we moved to Norfolk, and before we lived in the flat we live in now, we moved into a rented house. And I felt lost in there. It was so big. I remember feeling really uncomfortable in the first couple of nights because it felt like I was greedy. I had like this overwhelming feeling of greed because we suddenly went from such a small amount of space to such a large amount of space. And to be honest, we didn't need that much space.
No. I think we found a healthy mid sort of size with where we're living now. Because it is a flat, but it is kind of like part of a house thing. Yeah. So it's like,
The only thing we're going to need eventually is an extension for all of my tea. Because that's where we're going. That's where we're heading with that tea cupboard. When we have a sort
We've got a huge attic, so maybe we just convert the attic into a tea shop.
Into a tea emporium.
A tea emporium,
yeah. That's better. I'm still on... So, listeners, if any of you know of somewhere where I could become some kind of tea sommelier... Could you, again, don't know if I'm saying that word correctly, but some kind of like tea course where I could learn about tea, let me know.
You're listening to a podcast about tea where the host is asking, where can I get knowledge for tea?
Apart from this podcast, of course. But no, I really want to go on a journey and learn more about it because
when you go off to Canada next month, you can see if you can get loads of different weird Canadian teas. And
I believe there is someone who was friends with my friend Becca who I'm going to visit in Canada, who loves tea and has a tea Instagram, if I'm remembering correctly. So I might be able to meet up with them.
Well, yeah, if you got this mic you're taking, you'll be recording an episode over there.
Yeah, but
live from Canada.
Definitely record some bits in Canada, because I mean Rebecca Felgate is a joy, a joy and a delight. So we must get her on here again.
Oh, yeah, she's been on once. Yeah.
She has. So Little Snoring. I did also want to add some facts in about Little Snoring, but having Googled the village of Little Snoring, I found out that there's not much to say. I thought, maybe there'll be some really like.
What about Great Snoring?
Great, no, similar. I thought there'd be some kind of like Alice in Wonderland-esque reason for the name, like maybe a giant once fell asleep there. I don't know, and did a great snore and a little snore. But no, nothing of the sort. I think it was a name sort of developed. I think I still got it up on my phone. There was like someone's name, and then it developed over into little. Here we go. I'm on the webpage, thesnorings.com. East-northeast of Fakenham, west-southwest of Cromer.
It's not far away then. Must be one of those like really old little tiny villages that just doesn't have much there.
Yeah.
You'd have to talk to the locals.
So the names, I'm not going to be able to pronounce these correctly, but the names in the Great Book of Little Snoring is recorded as Snarringer, Snarlinger, and eventually, apparently, it sounds like everyone just sort of slowly fell asleep, and eventually we were like snoring.
Let me have a look.
Snoring.
Snoring.
That's what I think happened, how things develop. Yeah, so it's actually nothing to do with snoring at all.
Sangria. Oh no, Snarringer.
Okay, apparently it's got more in common with Alice in Wonderland than I thought, because this is sounding like the Jabberwocky.
Little Snoring has an entry in the Doomsday Book of 1085. Oh, Domesday Book, not Doomsday. In the Great Book, Little Snoring is recorded by the name Snarringer, and Snarlinger. Okay, yeah, I see what you're saying.
So it looks like a lovely place to stay. I clicked on the TripAdvisor page for Little Snoring. They use pounds there, I found out. There wasn't much. And there's lots, obviously, Norfolk and Norfolk Broads, there's so many lovely things you can do around here. So I bet it's just a delightful, albeit sleepy town to stay in.
Yeah.
Snoring by name, snoring by nature.
Yeah. Do you think everyone there snores at night?
They have to.
Go through
it's a prerequisite. You're not allowed to live there unless you snore. If you're a silent sleeper, they kick you out. But yeah, so that's the Little Snoring Sleep Tea from Nelson and Norfolk, who I will, I'm going to do some research and see where else they sell their teas, because I did really, really enjoy this. Just realised we've left that on there without any tea in it. Moving the teapot off the candle. There we go.
Put the candle out.
Good night. Yes, so I'm going to see if they do some more tea, because yeah, I really, really enjoyed that.
That was lovely.
10 out of 10, we'll drink again.
No, 7.5.
7.5, 7 teapots and a teacup out of 10.
Would drink again.
Would drink out again. Yeah. I don't think ratings are for me. I've fallen down already. I've fallen down miserably. But yeah, Little Snoring Sleep Tea. Thank you very much, Nelson and Norfolk. So thanks everyone for listening. Thank you, Jack, for coming on again.
No problem.
It's almost like I live with you. And
I know. And I'm sitting in the other room like, Jack, do you want to come on the podcast? I'm like, yeah.
Yeah, go on. Yeah, thank you for listening, everyone. Yeah, do subscribe via whatever medium that you listen to your podcast on. And I will be drinking another tea shortly. Toodaloo.